Alrighty, sports fans. April the 4th. Returning back to Chiang Mai today. And I'm bringing a large mammal with me over my left shoulder. Returning him to Chiang Mai also. We actually cut up the east side of Thailand, which once again I haven't seen. I've seen nothing but a little fucking green apartment in Pai. So we purposely didn't shoot back up the way we came down the left side of the country. We came up the right on a big northeastern swing, and now today we're in Kon Kaen, which is in Isan, which is not an official area on the map, but just the area northeast of Thailand on the Lao border. So we're going to head on a diagonal today, going 10 o'clock back to Chiang Mai, back up to the northwest. So from Kon Kaen, March 4th again. Wake up, no coffee, nothing yet. April 4th. Might throws itself on the side of those who believe in right. We human beings are the only creatures on earth who have the capacity for belief. That capacity, combined with our almost innate capability to distinguish right from wrong, provides us with a formidable power in our quest for a richer, more rewarding life. Okay. When you set goals for yourself, make sure they are based on doing the right thing for your family, your friends, your employees, and yourself. When others see that you are fair and just in your dealings with them and that you are a generous, principled person, they will move heaven and earth for you. Well, I don't know about moving heaven and earth, but they'll appreciate that and they'll do business with you again, right? For sure. So the large mammal, he's still back there. There he is. Rents motorbikes, as I'd said before. So in Thailand, there's a couple of ways to do that. And not everybody who rents daily is sketchy, but a lot of the sketchy guys rent daily, if that makes sense. And, it's like I've seen in Pai, places where now during the pandemic, right? Because I'd only been in Pai since the pandemic started. I arrived at the end of March. That's right when it started. So my experience in Pai was there was a couple of small shops, 10, 20 bikes to rent. And during the pandemic, they all were charging 100 baht. They all had cardboard signs out on the front of the bikes in front of their shops saying 100 baht for 24 hours. So they rented by the day. And that their target market, I talk all the time about knowing your target market, knowing your customer base. So their target market is tourists in town for a day, 2 days, 3 days. They rent a motorbike for a day or 2 or 3 days from them. And, a lot of these people are inexperienced and they'll dump the bike and it'll get scratched up. And these guys will just bring it back, wipe it down with a rag and put it out for the next tourist. It's 100 baht. It's $3, And that's their business model. They don't get any repeat business, right? Usually. Very rarely will a tourist come back to Pai, a year later. If I say, oh yeah, I rented from such and such and it was a great bike and blah, blah, And these bikes are older models, I'd say 10 years old and older. Haven't had oil changes because that costs money. Like I said, the people and their inexperienced riders, they dump them. They go over on the side, they get scratched up. They don't fix them up. Why would you fix it up? That costs money. And, you're only renting it for 100 baht, so you're not making a lot of money. So yeah, you're not going to maintain the bike. It's not going to be a new bike. It's not going to be in top mechanical condition. If you get stranded somewhere out, 20 minutes from the shop, 45 minutes, they're not going to come and pick you up, right? It is what it is. It's 100 baht rental. So, dude back there, lined up against the wall like he's in a lineup. Like that's not the first time he's been in a lineup, you know what I'm saying? His business model works different. His typical customer rents for 30 days or longer. He's had some people renting 7 years from him. 7 years of renting, right? And that's cars and bikes. So it's a different customer. It's more for somebody who's staying here for 6 months, right? Which a lot of people actually do come to Chiang Mai for, well, we're in Kon King, but they come to Chiang Mai for 6 months, 9 months, a year, and then go check out Vietnam or Philippines or Cambodia or someplace else in Southeast Asia, but they stay here long term, longer than 2 or 3 days, and that's his customer base. So his bikes are newer and in top mechanical condition because if they break down, he goes to pick them up. So he checks the tires and changes the oil and does everything like the bike is his own, like he owned it and it was his daily driver. He maintains because A, he gets a lot more than 100 baht, for a month rental, and B, it cost him less time and money and aggravation to take care of, fix the problems that come from a bike that's not been maintained, right? So he maintains all his bikes. He had 80 plus at one point, like they're his own. So different model, different mindset, customer service driven, because unlike the daily rental guys for 100 baht, he gets the same people renting from him over and over and over again, so recently a couple people have had some accidents on bikes. They fuck up. There's 26,000 deaths a year, as I mentioned before. It happens here, especially with Farang, who haven't grown up riding scooters their whole life like the Thai people have. They're relatively inexperienced drivers on bikes, and so they're gonna fuck up. They're gonna rear end a car or dump the bike. It happens, but he comes and picks the bike up, right? He gets the bike, he fixes the bike, he pays whatever money it takes at the mechanic, just like he would fix your car or your bike, once again, if it was your own, if it was your daily driver. And he gives them another bike. He gives them, here's another one of my fucking collection for you to drive in the meantime while the bike is being fixed. That's what today was kind of talking about. If you go that extra mile and do the right thing, right, for your customer, and when others get dealt with fairly, right, then they tend to be loyal and you'll get repeat business because you treated them right. And other people in their life or in other transactions haven't treated them right, and they'll never go back to those people. Me personally, if somebody screws me over in business or personal life, I just cut the cord. I'm done with them. I think a lot of people are like that. So there's a real world example, case study, if you pay the $1 million a year to go to Harvard, they call it a case study, where a guy is using that principle in this book in a real life-to-life business. And because of that, whereas a lot of small businesses have closed during COVID, he's still open. Is he making what he made pre-COVID? Fuck no. Nobody is, except Walmart and Bill Gates, but Amazon. But for a small business, he's surviving, and that's everything in COVID. Because all you really need to do is survive until all this bullshit's over, and then you can build back up again, get more bikes again, and get more cars, get more trucks. He bought a car while we were down at the car show, a Suzuki, to rent out. He's doing okay. He hasn't done pre-COVID type numbers, of course, but he's surviving. He's making money, and that's all you need to do right now. So yeah, once again, the book is spot on. I've been obviously driving with him for a week and talking about his business and stuff. So there's your example. There's your real life example from the book.